Anthony, as always, we start by looking back. It was a 4-0 victory at Carnarvon Town. 4 different goal scorers on the team sheet, on the score sheet, should I say. A clean sheet for the New Saints. You gave your thoughts following the final whistle. You've had a little bit of time to reflect. Any additional thoughts that you could bring into the equation there?
Yeah, no, probably the same, I would say, Rebs. I think you summed it up in your first question that you asked me straight after the game. It was a professional performance, or the statement you made when we interviewed, and watching it back, looking at the clips, debriefing it with the players today, it was a professional performance. I think the scoreline not necessarily flattered the game. It didn't say how close it was. I thought 1-0 at half time, it was quite tight. We had to change a couple of things, change our shape to suit that game because of what the opposition were doing to us. They had 1 or 2 chances in the first half and straight after half time, even when we were 2-0 up, where it could have been a lot closer. So yeah, I think professional performance. We showed, I think as well, which was pleasing, our fitness levels and the strength of the players coming onto the pitch too, but how the hard work in our training and the way that we work every day has got us in really good condition, and how we've got ourselves in good shape after that small break as well, compared to maybe sometimes the part-time teams, with no disrespect to Carnarvon, who gave it a right go, by the way, and always a very well organised and good side. So yeah, we were really happy with that, but happy with what you described as a professional performance.
Well, I did sell myself short just now because I do have a few notes today, and I've actually got the words professional performance in that first question, which I didn't bring into that. Tomorrow's game, it's the New Saints versus Cefn Druids here at Park Hall. Top versus bottom, 48 points gap between the sides. A goal difference swing of 88. That's a David versus Goliath encounter, if ever we came across one in the league. But what plans, if any, have you brought into the thinking and the mindset of the players going into that game, that they should not be complacent and take anything for granted?
Well, yeah, probably a couple of things I'd say on that, and we think about these things constantly coming into these games and the different types of games and opposition that we play against, would be that you probably would have said a few of those stats to me similar, maybe not as like that or as particular, when we went to ABBA away. I think we're on the back of a really good run there, and we ended up losing 1-0. Everyone thought we would go down there. I think we'd come off the back of a 6-0 and a 5-0 win. And we went there and we ended up losing 1-0. Wasn't able to score. Didn't actually play that poorly. It wasn't our worst game, but the result didn't go for us that day. We want to make sure that the performance is exactly what we want it in terms of attacking and defending, and doing, I think, the basics very, very well. I think that'll help us in this game in particular. Just like when we play the other teams, maybe in different positions to where Druids are, we focus on the opposition strength and weaknesses, but then also what we're going to do in the game too. And it's no different to any other game. We've planned and prepared exactly the same as we have done, whether this is against Connors Quay, who won the league last year, or whether it's against Druids in the position they're in. We've got a lot of respect for the opposition. They've added a couple of players this week from Bangor. Whether they'll be registered or not in time, they probably will be. So we'll be looking out for them, and their performances are, albeit up and down in certain games that we've watched, they've got things that can hurt us in the game. So we need to make sure we're locking those down, and we're very on the front foot. We're very aggressive, and we want to go in and put in a good performance, and like no other week, we want to get the 3 points.
And in many ways, Cefn Druids have nothing at all to lose, but possibly everything to gain. Yeah,
without a doubt. And you talk about David and Goliath there, I've been on the other end of those as well, as in been the David against the Goliath many times, and had good FA Cup upsets and league upsets in my time as a coach or an assistant coach. And also as well, you look at us when we played Victoria Pilsen in Europe, no one would have given us a chance to win that first game 4-2, and that was probably an even more of a David and Goliath matchup than what this game could be, for example. So I think that sort of says it where it is. We've been on the other end of those games as well, so we know what the opposition are thinking, and like you say, they've got nothing to lose, and they'll be coming here to enjoy it and to try and pull off a shock result.
And there was the game on Friday that we've already referred to, and of course the one tomorrow on Tuesday. Will you be resting players because of the closeness of the games? And if you are, how do you balance that in terms of respecting Cefn Druids, but at the same time wanting to put absolutely your strongest team on the pitch?
Well, yeah, it's a good question, because I think it's very difficult probably at the moment to say what the strongest team is. I think you look at the ones who come off on the bench on Friday. You look at like Jordan Williams, who started and played the week before. You look at Leo Smith, who was unbelievable in Europe and hasn't had as many starts as what he would have liked at the minute. You've got Sizovic, who's been arguably one of the better players in this league for many, many years now and done it in Europe constantly. You've got Jake Canavan, a young player who's come on, and Ash Baker, who was on the bench and wasn't able to get on. So I think you look at all those players there, they would have a right to say, well, they should be starting in this team if they're on form and playing well. So I think it's difficult to know what that best team is at times because there's some good players here. So I think to answer your question without answering your question would be there's lots of positions that are up for grabs. It's not just necessarily about maybe resting people from Saturday, Tuesday, but to giving opportunities to other players, but then also players who are on form and playing well deserve to keep playing. So we'll have to see tomorrow night.
There is, of course, a friendly as well this coming Saturday here at Park Hall against Airbus UK Broughton. Will that be a factor in the players that you decide perhaps not to pick against Cefn Druids, knowing that you can keep everyone happy-ish by giving some a good run out on the weekend as well?
Yeah, no, that doesn't come into our mind. That game's there for the ones who need the game time. So we're concentrating on this game. This is the important game because there's 3 points up for grabs in the game, in that friendly game, like you mentioned, I think, which is open to the public, which is great. We won't be prepping and playing for that game because you don't get anything from it. So it'll be for game time, for people who need minutes. Some of the people who start Tuesday will play Saturday as well. Some of the ones who have played Saturday, Tuesday won't play Saturday. So it'll be a mixture really, but it doesn't factor in our team selection for this Tuesday, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And Anthony, as we come to the close of the transfer window, what the fans want to know, and also media as well, will we be running around at 1 minute to midnight tonight because there's a late incoming to the club, or is the Alex Denny signing the only one that you will make? Also as well, the players that have gone out on loan, the younger players, your thoughts on all of that?
Yeah, we're really happy with the business that we've done with Alex Denny at the moment. He's come in and played really well against Connors Key. We're very happy with him, and him in and around training and in and around the group's been excellent. So we're very happy with that one. We've been working on 2 or 3 other things over this window. Haven't come off yet, but we want to make sure that we add, I've always said, the right player and the right type of player, not just on the pitch, but also character-wise, get them to fit into the group, and really specific on what we're after. So if those players become available, then we'll look to add them. If not, which it looks like at the moment, leading it late into the window, very happy with the squad that we've got at the moment, and we can look to build again for next season. But I think it's all about adding the right players, ones that are going to make the starting lineup better, not just the squad, but the starting lineup. And I think that's really important to factor in. I'd rather wait and get the right players than take ones that might just add to the squad as opposed to the starting team.
And it was 2 questions together, really. I should have kept the last one till now, about the players that have gone out on loan, the youngsters. Great experience building for them.
It really is. I mean, you look at, for example, Morgan Dakin, who started the first game in Europe. It was a big test for him with the skipper, Maz, who was out that day, and he did great. And he's been in and around the first team squad. Hasn't had as much game time with the first team as he would have liked, but for him to have the opportunity to go out on loan but still train with us and work and develop every day will be great for him. The other loans that have been extended are the ones who are already out on loan. Josh Bailey, Bo Cornish, Lewis Rees, Lewis Bradford as well. I think are good ones and really good loans for them going back to the same club, and I think that's been good for them, as well as Gianni, who I think he's just about got a loan deal over the line as well. So good experience for those young ones to be able to develop and train with us still, but also to go and experience men's football and gain that, hopefully, that experience, you could say, and game time that they need to help with their development.
And back to the Cefn Druids game, and finally, availability of the players.
Yeah, we picked up a couple of knocks, 2 or 3 knocks. Louis Robles got a little knock in the game. Ryan Brobb will come off with a knock as well. So we're seeing how they are over the next today and tomorrow to see if they'll start the game or not. Apart from that, though, everyone else seems okay.